Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Bracha Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Bracha Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Shri Pralat Lakshmi Singhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Chaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Chaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Chaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome everybody. We're speaking from Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita. I guess we speak in English. So is there anybody who want to translate or has the capacity to translate? Give a big applause to Gopala Prabhu. Haribol. It's not easy. Translators should be honored and respected. It's a very important service, especially in Simhachalam, since we always between languages here, because we're so international. Unless Kishori can't start to learn English, what about that? She's just looking. She don't. Okay. So we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita, chapter 22, the process of devotional service, explained by whom? Huh? What? No? Who's speaking since many chapters, verses? Yes, to whom? Sanat Goswami. And it's a very instructive section, and today we come on verse 25. Now let me 25. 26, 25. 25, right? Or 26? 26, yes. Okay. Karivana Shrami Yadi Krishna Nahi Bache. Karivana Shrami Yadi Krishna Nahi Bache. Svakarma Karite Se Rarave Parimache. Svakarma Karite Se Rarave Parimache. Charivana Shrami Yadi Krishna Nahi Bache. Svakarma Karite Se Rarave Parimache. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please chant.
Chari varna ashrami yadi Krishna nahi bhaje. Chari varna ashrami yadi Krishna nahi
Ladies. Svakarma karite sirarave padimache. Charivana ashrami, followers of the four social and spiritual orders of life. Yadi, if Krishna, Lord Krishna, Nahi, not, Bhaje, serve, Svakarma karite, performing his duty in life. Se, that person, Raurave, in a hellish condition. Pari, falling down. Maje, becomes immersed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The followers of the Varnashram institution accept the regulative principles of the four social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And for spiritual orders, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. However, if one carries out the regulative principles of these orders, but does not render transcendental service to Krishna, he falls into a hellish condition of material life. Purport: one may be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, or one may perfectly follow the spiritual principles of Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, but ultimately one falls down in a hellish condition unless one becomes a devotee. Without developing one's dormant Krishna consciousness, one cannot be factually elevated. The regulative principles of Varnashram Dharma in themselves are insufficient for attainment of the highest perfection. That is confirmed in the following two quotations from the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Agnanati Mandasya Kinananchana Shalakya Chakshu Imidam Yena Tasmai Shikarve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stabidam Yena Putale Swayam Rupagamayam Dadati Swapadandikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sadigaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we have here a verse. What's in the verse? What the verse speaks about? Yes, this verse. Yeah, that was already good. And yeah, Varnashram Dharma basically. And this, of course, is a big subject. The translation again, the followers of the Varnashram institution accept the regulative principles of the four social orders. They are what? Social orders? Yep. And or for spiritual orders. What are the four spiritual orders? Very good. Yeah, I just want to keep you thinking, not to fade away. However, if one carries out the regulative principles of these orders, but does not render transcendental service to Krishna, he falls into a hellish condition of material life. So the point Mahaprabhu is making here is quite clear. I mean, we know from the conversations of Mahaprabhu with with whom did he speak? Also in Caitanya Caritamrita. Very famous conversations with Ramananda Roy. And there he sort of, because Ramananda Roy, he keeps on coming more and more because the Lord asked him, what's the meaning of life, basically. And then Ramananda Roy, he comes around the corner with different solutions or suggestions. And Mahaprabhu always said, no, that's not enough. Tell me more. Because he knew Ramananda Roy, he knew more. And at one point in the discussion, they touched the subject of the Varnashram institution, as Prabhupada puts it here in the translation. So it's an institution. So what do you think, when you hear institution, what do you think? Are there any other institutions you could think of? Huh? Only ISKCON. Krishna West. Now, of course, institutions are kind of big organizations. They are there to organize people, right? And so an institution, the Varnashram institution, is how to organize people, living entities, humans basically, in the human form of life, how they can function. And I think it would be very boring if we now give a class on Varnashram Dharma, because as we can see, you know already so much about it. Jai Jai Shishi Palat Lakshmi Singhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. But just for one to touch this topic or obeisances to this, what it's said here, that basically it's not just to follow the Varnashram Dharma or institution that we make already progress, although it is very conducive to human life. Because Krishna mentioned this also in Bhagavad Gita, so it's not that it's completely useless, but we have to understand there are two different divisions of Varnashram Dharma. And the one is the normal Varnashram Dharma, what is considered as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. But the higher principle is Daivi Varnashram Dharma. And this basically is an extension of sadhana bhakti. As we can observe, the highest principle is, what is the highest principle of human life, you would say? Love for God? For God. I forgot my love. Love for God, yeah, right. Yeah, love for God. And this is basically where we could, in all interreligious dialogues, agree with everybody, with every religion, right? Although all religions, especially, of course, in our situation, we only think of ISKCON, the institution. But if you look in other traditions, if you look Christianity, they are like a massive institution, right? Like, and so stiff, right? But love of God, of course, is the best. And how we express love of God? Well, by service, yeah. This we can also do. But we can agree with other traditions as well. But if we would define it, so what kind of service? Because Christians, when they go on Sunday to the church, they call it Gottesdienst. Means service to the Lord, service to God. But could we, from our perspective, add something more? How that service should be? Okay, personal. What that? Huh? Selfless. Devotional. Yeah. What else? Unmotivated, yeah, but it's good we can say it also twice. Uninterrupted. But what is our main principles? Devotees sometimes they really chew on this point. They even have fights over it. Huh? Yeah, but how it comes? What love means? Do I plan love? Do I plan to fall in love? Huh? Spontaneous. Yes, spontaneous. It should be spontaneous. And if you look at spontaneous and institution, what doesn't fit? The path in between, right? Because the institution, of course, has to regulate it. Has to regulate devotional service. That's the function of the institution. But on the individual level, it could be a disturbance, right? Because I want to be spontaneous. And this is how the acharyas tell us actually how we should perform devotional service. Spontaneous. But can somebody come now from outside and come from the street and say, I want to do spontaneous devotional service? Stas, what you would say? Huh? Really? So somebody comes and say, I want to do spontaneous devotional service by waving my gansha in front of the Lord. What would we say? Huh? Well, intention is one thing, but then the next one comes and say, I want to offer a baby in front of the altar. Intention? Obviously not. So we would say, whatever somebody comes, we would say, wait a second, and this is what the institution says, you cannot just come and do spontaneous devotional service, not in our temple. Because then the institution clicks in, says you have to follow certain rules and regulations and also some rites of purification. Meaning you have to undergo at least first and second initiation in our institution. Right? And of course, people could argue and could say, no, I can do, spontaneous, should be everything, whatever. And in one sense, yes. In the other hand, it's according to time, place, and circumstances, and the good taste, and of course, rules and regulations given by the state. You cannot just say, I offer my wife or whatever on the, I want to offer. You come in ISKCON temple and say, I want to offer a goat, In some temple you can do, and not in our ISKCON temple. No, it would just not be, So therefore the institution comes in and says, stop it for a moment before you offer the goat, get some training. And this training implies, do we offer goats on the altar? Charu, what do you think? No. So, therefore, institution is to be there to set some certain rules and regulations where we all have to agree. And when we accept the institution, we want to agree. If we want it or not, we want to agree. Right? And this gives us some kind of protection. This was the intention of Srila Prabhupada and of course even of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Regulated. Because when it's regulated, it's not only that you, restricted from things, no, they don't let me. It's also giving us also some kind of shelter. Because it gives us guidance. And there we have points where we don't have to argue about it. Because we all supposed to agree on it. And this makes our practical dealing much more easier. Right? Therefore, Varnashram Dham. And this is done by Krishna. He implemented. It's like a thing what is in human society naturally it's implemented. Like you have in the bee society, there's no discussions amongst the bees. No, today I don't want to be a working bee today. I don't want to collect pollen today. I want to be the queen. Right? It just doesn't function. Because even from the bodily construction of the bees, there are differences. What to speak of an anthill? An anthill is such a complex organization, and it's done so perfectly. Now the birds coming back from Africa, wherever they come from. Some come from India, right? So if you see, they're flying in a perfect formation, like they have kind of a God-given order. Now scientists, they try to explain how they can coordinate. They're flying as one body, right? And so does the anthill and the beehive. They are coming together, forming a body. And sometimes you see this in beehives. If a beehive becomes too big, then they're choosing a new queen, and then they separate. And one beehive, they fly away, and then they're hanging on a tree as a big drop. And you think, what is it? And you look closely, there's all bees, right? They're like one body. In the same way, if mankind would follow Varnashram Dharma, we would be organized and act as one body, right? And this would make us basically survive. But it would keep us just on the level where we are. We would maybe follow our Dharma and in this way act dharmically, and in this way we would make progress, but we would still stay on the material plane, because for this it needs an organization what is based around spiritual values. And therefore you have Daivi Varnashram Dharma. And Daivi Varnashram Dharma basically is centered around, as we said before, sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti, what is the core again of sadhana bhakti? What is the core of sadhana bhakti? We just said it. What's the goal of life? Huh? Love for God, yeah. And what? Huh? Going to Krishna. Yes, good. Yeah, but how we do this? Huh? Well, this is where the disagreement starts. How we do it? Spontaneous devotional service. Yeah, that's the core of sadhana bhakti. How is that? Because in order to come to the stage of doing spontaneous devotional service, we have to be trained. We have to be, although it's there, it's in us, it's the soul, it's we. We are spontaneous devotional service. Radharani is completely spontaneous devotional service, right? And this is in us. We are that. We are in this energy. We have spontaneity and we have devotion. But in order to place it rightly, we have to be trained, and therefore sadhana bhakti. Therefore, we come to the temple to fan this spark and shape this spark in a different direction. So, and as us, as Prabhupada Nugas, as followers of Srila Prabhupada, he gave us a process how we be shaped into a spontaneous devotional being. Now finding our true identity again. And this process is given basically in our temple program. So this is centered around spontaneous devotional service, is the sadhana bhakti given to us by Srila Prabhupada, who follows Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, of course, follow the Goswamis, mainly Raghunatha Goswami as well. Because this, in a further discussion, I don't know if we go in this direction, in a further discussion is very crucial, because Raghunatha Goswami gave us a certain flavor of spontaneous devotional service. Okay, we put this aside for now. If there's questions about this, we can speak about this later. But coming back to Varnashram Dharma, So now we have our sadhana bhakti. What basically is our sadhana bhakti? Well, yeah, that's the basis. But as we enter a ISKCON temple, there would be something around chanting and following regulative principles. Service, okay, but how does our day start? Mangalati, but even before Mangalati, what do we do for Mangalati, huh? And in between sleeping and Mangalati and going again to sleep, I mean, shower, yes. We have kind of a regulation. Prabhupada gave us quite a process of how to regulate our getting up in the morning. You know, suggested you get up, you roll out of your bed and make what? Obeisances, yeah, to your guru and remembering Krishna, basically, right? And then you take a shower. While you take a shower, cold water, of course, right? And then you chant what when you take cold water shower? This or Ganga, Ganga, Ganga. You know, you remember the Ganga. And when you remember Ganga, you automatically remember Gauranga, right? Because he took shower in Ganga, right? So you remember Navadvip, you remember Ganga, you immediately inside and outside you get purified. Then you clean, of course you brushed also your teeth. And then you clean, you put on fresh clothes first. I mean, I don't know how girls do, but boys do first clothes, and then you put tilak, right? And perform Achman. Kind of should be. And then, of course, we offer Mangalati. Some do it on the altar directly, the other ones supplying the worship on the altar by singing. Yes, singing and chanting. Exactly. And when we have done this, we do what? Huh? Dancing, yeah, more dancing. Around to whom do we dance then? Yes, we dance around Tulsi because we understand that she is our mistress. You know, she is the one who grant us an entrance into the spontaneous devotional service. Therefore, we worship here. Therefore, Prabhupada gave us worshipping Tulsi Devi. Not just because it's in every Hindu temple they have a Tulsi in front of the house. No, with this song and with this meditation, we enter into spontaneous devotional service. Prabhupada gave us everything. So, and after we get the blessings of Tulsi Maharani, from whom we get the blessings then? Huh? Yeah, we have already in the Singadev, huh? Yes, from the devotees. How we get the blessings of the devotees? Yes, we offer our obeisances to the devotees. Therefore, we get blessings. Even if yesterday I had this Balaram Pran. What do you think? Does he think who he is? And he said whatever. We had some disagreement. Of course, we didn't have. But even if there's something in this moment, he's also over there sitting straight across me. But now I have to offer. Okay, I do it. Then Balaram thinks, this Ramana, he's too much. But now we offer our obeisances. And then it's gone. Right? Then it's gone. And then our mind is free to go sleep again. Go back to sleep. No, to chant Hare Krishna. Yes, we chant Hare Krishna. Right? And so the whole morning meditation should give us enough food for our soul to digest while we chant Japa. Right? So and then what happened? After we chant Japa, we greet the Lord again. Hare Krishna, here we are, there are you, please bless us. And then what? What? We worship the Acharya. Yes, it's not just Guru, we worship the Acharya basically. It's very, very important because this will stay for eternity, basically. Like the Sri Sambhadaya, they worship Ramanujacharya, the Madhvas worship Madhvacharya, we worship the founder Acharya. Right? We worship Srila Prabhupada. And then we do what? No. yes, we listening to the Holy Scriptures, and for us that's like the news, right? If you go in the weekdays, you go outside. What do all the people who work outside? What they do first in the morning? Bildzeitung, right? Yeah. And then they're having discussions about it. They're having some Bildkata, Morgenpostkata, or whatever, wherever you come from, So this is our morning news. What's the news? What's the news? And of course, if I want to have the news, I ask my wife. So we get the news, and then we have what? Then we have prasadam, hot steaming khichdi and halwa, right? What purifies us. And then what we do? Huh? Exactly, we go back to sleep. Now there is it where the crucial point comes in. Because from this point on, till the evening program, what do we do? And there we have suddenly becomes very important. Yeah, but what kind of seva? Huh? Regulated according to what? Yeah, what is our capacity? Yeah, you're right. What is our capacity?
Like, for example, a lady will not do lifting heavy weights.
So why not?
Well, if she feels like, why not?
If Brad Prabhu feels, then they can.
Clean, she can.
So what we do? Why we do different things? According to our, you're right. I agree with you fully. I just want to churn it a little bit more. Yes, in this, the personality. Yeah, suddenly all these things come in. No, Prabhu, I cannot do. No, Prabhu, this. If we tell to whatever, Kripa Sindhu, go out on the field and dig the field. He would do because he is obedient. But, for lunchtime we could carry him inside. Put me down the red because it's not his bodily nature. But if we tell to Kripa Sindhu, can you give an online lecture? He would, sure, and he could do this till the evening, without even stopping, right? So therefore, in this moment, after we finish our sadhana bhakti, it becomes very important who we actually are. And there we need Varnashram Dharma. And this basically Prabhupada stressed it, he places around sadhana bhakti, around our sadhana, what we follow, to get purified and build up a meditation. A meditation is something what we do every day. This meditation we do every day. And this is something what we build up from the Bhakta state, from the time we get our first book on the street from Kripa Sindhu. From this time, when we first time read, we are servants of Krishna, it goes deep inside and we start to meditate. What does it mean? And this, what does it mean to be a servant of Krishna, continues actually till our last breath, right? To our last mantra, Hare Krishna, right? So, but this is something what builds up and defines itself. It comes in our life. It more and more melts us. And the more we go in the process of sadhana bhakti, the more we get melted. It's like a fire pot. It's like we getting more and more shaped by our meditation, and this meditation is enhanced by this process given by Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, if we follow this, then this Daivi means around the center, the Lord, around the Lord. This becomes a very important tool. Then this Varnashram becomes a very important tool to facilitate our meditation. how we can serve the Lord. Because the one in the normal, you would say, okay, there are the Vaishyas, he goes on the field, he does his dharma there, and he brings in the crops, he feeds the cows, he milks the cows, he sells it on the market, and he stores the money. Right? But there's nothing even mentioned about offering it to Krishna. But when you have a society based around Krishna, then the gardener, he goes out, or the Jacob goes out, milks the cows, and brings the milk in. What does he do with the milk? Exactly. And the gardener, he goes out, he brings the crops in and all the vegetables, and he gives it to Krishna. Because this is how we do it. Right? And in this sense, we make very rapid progress. And therefore, that's very, very important. Otherwise, if we don't do it, if we just follow simple Varnashram Dharma, it's just another material occupation. Right? Each and every, again, Knaus is organized. He's kind of an institution. And he probably, if he is in some sort of intelligence, is there, he engages the people the workers according to their sort of nature. You cannot just put some lady from the bureau, from the office, with the high heels, and like, now today you go and put on tires on the vehicles. She's like, so he also has some kind of regulations, but they don't do any. There's nobody in the end of Knaus. Maybe some who work there, but some devotees who work there. But basically, no one comes out and says, okay, where's I want to go to the temple and give the results of my work to Krishna. Mostly don't do. But some who have to work outside, who are devotees, they're trained. And they know, I get purified by giving my riches, because as we said this week in the Bhagavad Gita class, each and every Lakshmi, what we take on the hand, we get contaminated with the energy it was created with. So, therefore, it's important. Therefore, we have institution. It gives us shelter, it gives us guidance, and gives us protection. Any questions on this subject? Balaram Pran was first. Wait. Ooh.
Ist immer noch zu laut. Das ist grundsätzlich für den Livestream, nicht für die Hare Krishna. Like, if I want to conclude, and that might not be a right conclusion, so please bear with me. I come to the institution, like we call it, and to regulate my service to Krishna, with the goal to ultimately reach spontaneous service. Okay.
I would
coming to the institution so that my service could be regulated and, let's say, corrected, because, like you said at the beginning, somebody may offer a goat or something and not have the proper understanding to how to serve God, how to serve Krishna. So I come to the institute and I learn all those rules and regulations and practice sadhana bhakti, and then at some point, if I'm fortunate enough, my service will be spontaneous, loving service. And then what's my position in the institute? I don't need the institute anymore and I leave it, or?
Well, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he follows this system because he knows, he teaches the public, the pride of masses. I forgot how he exactly puts it. But, so it's like the acharyas or the Goswamis, they were chanting constantly. They were just, it's just, at one point, the Maha Mantra, he becomes part of you. It becomes the melody what is in your head. You notice when you hear, in the time I come from the radio generation. right? We were always, that's a generation, will not come back again, I guess, I don't know. Always wherever you went, there was a radio blaring. And then there's some songs you hear, and they follow you around your whole day. You have this, right? And this song is in your head. Even sometimes you even don't like this song. So I don't know, whatever, you're not very. I never really liked Michael Jackson, like wow. But sometimes some songs they're just sticking, like glue, they're just in your head. So if we become pure, the Maha Mantra is like the music what plays in our head, right? So and even it would not be necessary to chant japa regulated rounds. They still would do it because there is a certain flavor, not only for them to say, okay, I sit down and chant a prescribed number of rounds. It's a vrata. It's a vrata, and you don't give it up. As you saw Caritamrita Swami till his last breath, he stick to his 16 rounds. Although even his guru said, forget about your beat pack now, whatever other things. But this is how we do. So we still follow to some extent to set an example.
Okay. To set an example is a nice answer.
This would be and some things, I just like it, even if you're a big acharya or whatever, or a kind of, you see Bhakti Bhushan Swami, he comes every day for morning. He's the first time here in the temple chanting, and he stays till Prashadam. He stays for class, even if he doesn't give class. You see him sitting very, very humble in the corner and listening to the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So just to set an example, when he does it, why we should not do it? How dare we not follow?
But when I'm setting an example, does that mean I like to do it?
What?
When I'm setting an example by coming to the program or coming to the lecture, does that mean that I like to do it?
Yes, at that point you like it because it's spontaneous. You have an urge. You have an urge to hear the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Come on, how I cannot listen what other people in the community, and therefore I mean the Bhagavatam class in the community is such a crucial central point because there the message, what is in the community, the mood of the community gets shared. In the questions and in the answers, there comes things out what moves the community. It's nice, of course, if you can hear from your Guru Maharaj or whatever, all glories, far out classes. But in this point of the day, Charu, give it back. In this point of the day, this you give to the listening, exploring together the Bhagavatam. It's not just the guy who sits here who delivers a class. It's the questions of the people in the community who triggers the discussion, who triggers the Krishna Katha. Right? It's not just the guy. The guy is just, he's just the other. But the participants, by their eagerness, by their questions, they are getting the milk out of this guy, it's other. So therefore, and people, devotees like, for example, Bhakti Bhushan Swami, they have a taste, they have a need. They feel sick if they don't have it. If they have to travel, if they have to sit on the airport, they think, wow, somewhere there is Bhagavatam class. In fact, you could say there is, because of the shape of the earth, we don't go into this, but there is each and every time somewhere Bhagavatam class is going on, somewhere Mangalarti is going on, somewhere devotees sitting together eating prasadam. It's constantly now, because Prabhupada got it all around the world. So now, and every time in the world, there is devotional service going on. It's amazing. It's amazing how much influence this had already, that Prabhupada established temple all around the globe. So, in each and every time, some Bhagavatam class, some Prasadam, some Mangaladi, chanting, devotees going on Harinam. It's amazing. We just see sometimes our little bubble, but we have to see the bigger picture. It's okay? Nur was.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the lecture. You mentioned something in the end, saying that the money you earn got contaminated from where it come from. I didn't get this point. And I have another question.
Because you didn't come for Bhagavad Gita class on Wednesday. Still online. No, okay, yeah, what's your question? Sorry.
And you were talking about also the ashrams. And my question is there like some specific rule that women in ISKCON should follow? Like they can't be like brahmacharinis forever, or like they can't be sannyasis, or like, because for example for Prabhus it's possible, but what's like
why we don't go in fall of the jiva? It's not a do not ask this question. No, I mean that's such a vast topic. Women, because why it's so difficult? Because when a man speaks about this, he is for sure to end up in trouble. Because, like what he knows about women. But the point is, let me put it in this way: the jiva, the soul, is by nature female. Female. No, it's prakriti. Because female, is already, female, they all, like they're all looking like, whatever, it's a difference. Because if we say female is already on the bodily, we're all thinking of women. It's prakriti. But this, of course, is the serving nature. And so meaning each and every of these blokes who's sitting now in we are the guys, we are the rulers of ISKCON, right? They are, by the position actually female. They're little girls, right? But they're just playing the big guys. So therefore it's unnatural for the soul. It's unnatural to act as Purusha. But man, when he wants to fulfill the role as a man, he has to learn how to act as Purusha, as the facilitator. His service is to facilitate. This is what God does. He facilitates. He is the greatest servant of the Prakriti. So he facilitates. So a man, he has to facilitate, meaning he provides for the land, he provides protection, he provides guidance. It's his service. It's not his status. It's his service. And in order to learn this, he has to be trained in the brahmachari ashram. Now, brahmachari ashram doesn't mean just a bunch of young adults who dressed in orange and don't want to look at women. They learn how to be clean, how to respect each and every entity, see them as the master. The brahmachari is the low point in the social order. Therefore, he develops humility, he learns how to be clean, he learns to be self-sufficient, that he doesn't require later on, I need a wife in my life to survive, because my mother did everything for me. So I need another mother. And this is what he's looking about. And then he treats his wife like his mother. Right? And if you see little boys, how they treat the mother, you think, oh my goodness, if this continues like that, they will end up in trouble. Right? So because the mother is kind of the servant for everything. Bring me this. Say, can you say please? Please. Okay, Not our boys, of course. They don't do this. So, so therefore they have to be trained. You be self-sufficient. You learn how to cook. You have to learn how to cook. You cannot just depending, I'm hungry, I'm starving, nobody's cooking for me. That's not a man. That's a baby. And do you want to be married to a baby? No, of course not. So even if you want to be Grihastha, you have to get some basic training. You have to be able to maintain yourself, because otherwise you become depending on a mother again. And not in a respectful way, in a crying way. And what respect you will have for such a man. Right? So, therefore they have to be trained. Therefore, they have to be in the brahmachari ashram. Therefore, they have to be treated sometimes, not roughly, but strict. You can't, some things you cannot just let them do, because otherwise the mind takes over. So you have to learn how to control the senses, how to control the mind. If they can't do this, they will never be men. Therefore, they have to be trained. Now, the serving, or the female nature, what we in bodily conception would say as women, they don't have to be trained in this way. But in a school, in a separate school, doesn't mean they don't get any training, but they get trained in the school of the women in the family, traditionally. And in the women in the family, they will tell them everything what they need. First of all, how to get a husband. Yeah, how to get a husband. And second, how to keep this husband. That's a science. Ladies don't, nobody tells them. And then, of course, according to this, everything else related to it. How to cook, how to clean, how to do this. Now, nowadays we'll say, wow, that's so chauvinistic. But that's the art of women. They are very artful beings, and Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. What does he say about women? Intelligence. What do we hear from the staunch preacher in orange sometimes? Women less intelligent, but Krishna says the opposite in Bhagavad Gita. He said fine speech, art, all these fine qualities, they come from women. From women nature, they carry them. And with that, they make everything beautiful. They carry the aspect of Shri. Shri means Lakshmi. A man, man comes from work, he sits in his chair. He just needs one chair. He's sitting there and he thinks, I'm home. I'm home. Maybe I should take a shower. But rather not. Right? But the woman, he comes in and says, come on. This, put some flowers here, put a picture there, put some curtains over here. I cook something nicely and see, I made you a nice hot bath. And what the man thinks, that's great. I do it. So he likes all these aspects. And therefore he, in one sense, they work together. And if he's inspired, he says, wow, she's amazing. Then this inspires him to go out again and again collect some Lakshmi. What he puts then on the table, so you can buy something with it. Whatever. It's, of course, I know I'm stepping on the edge. I don't want to make a generalization, but this is actually how energies are supposed to work. And so ladies get trained actually from the seniors, may it be family or may it be in the ashram, or by other friends. Nowadays, families are not so, but if you want to know how to catch a husband and to keep a husband, go to somebody who made it. You ask, how did you do it? And how you can manage that he stays with you. There's so many pretty girls outside, but he stays with you. How you do it? I tell you. And it's, man, we don't have any idea about this. And the other question about, just briefly, money, Lakshmi is a representation of Shri again, of the feminine power of the Lord. It's created from the Lord As in the Bible say, Eva was created by a rib of Adam. So the female energy, Radharani, is Krishna sourced this energy out of him. Right? And so this energy is so valuable that everybody wants it, especially in the material world, because you think, this is what I need. You need Lakshmi. This is our Ravan mentality. So how we create Lakshmi? Basically, Lakshmi you create by, one way to create Lakshmi is you treat the earth that she gives you crops, grains. These grains you take and you sell in the market, so there you have Lakshmi. Or the grains itself is already wealth. We just had this discussion in the morning with Michael in the back because we had this yakya. Nowadays we say, oh, get some rice, pay some euro in Lila and you put it rice in Swaha. Oh, that's my yakya. But basically, previously, these grains, they are riches. You have grain, you rich man. You can cook something, you put something on the table. You have milk, the essence of milk of the cow is ghee. So this you offer in the fire. Swaha, riches, something what, this grain, I could make khichdi out of it, but I give it to the Lord. Idam Krishnaya, idam namama. And the ghee, this is ghee. Oh, this would be so good on my cooked rice. Give it to the Lord. It burns in the fire. So this is valuable. Nowadays, when we make a yakya, actually, we can do it in the evening. You should use iPhones. Swaha, one iPhone. Swaha, your iPad, into the fire. Something what, no, it's like, So this, something what hurt, because it's Shri, it's opulence. So this, how you create it, it has some energy. Now you get it from the land, you have these crops, very good energy. It's suitable to offer. But somebody, they corrupt this Lakshmi by making a robbery. Yes. In this robbery, maybe somebody even was killed. And they come now with this Lakshmi and give it, you buy something with them. They maybe, whatever, you rob some jewelries, you shoot the counter, whatever, very criminal. But then somebody else comes, Balaram comes and thinks, oh, I need some jewelry for my wife. So he buys this jewelry from you. Right? And he gives you money for it. Or, yeah, let's put it like this. So this jewelry is contaminated with how it was generated. So he gives it to his wife, so it all stays on a very gross material level, even if he doesn't know how it comes from, but it's just on the gross material level. If he thinks, no, I not just want to have this for his future wife, to make her happy, I want to use this jewelry to make Krishna happy. So all this imperfection, how it was created, is immediately purified. Therefore Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you should purify, because you don't know where this money or this riches, whatever you have, where this comes from. So if you give a part of it, like we offer prasadam, we don't offer the whole pots on the altar. We offer just a little portion of it. And then everything becomes prasadam. So from this riches, what you gained, you give a portion of it, you give to Krishna, and the whole thing gets purified. Otherwise, you stick with this karma, it sticks with you. You have to deal with that karma, what is, it's like somebody working in the oh my God, we are late. Anyway. Does it make sense? We wanted to speak about this eclipse again, right?
Just wanted to know your opinion, or the opinion of the institution, if women can stay alone or not.
What?
That was the question. If women should stay as a brahmacharini or wearing white forever or not? It's a yes or no.
So Prabhupada, I mean, this is Prabhupada said all boys should be brahmacharis, all women should be married, and you as managers, it's your duty to figure out how to do it. No, I mean, as we see, it's just not the nature. Maybe the nature of some girls who can do it, who are natural nuns. But women, even these nuns, they need somebody, they need a strong over-nun, mother superior, who protects them, who guides them, gives them shelter. We have this in our ashram. Bhagavad Gita is the mother superior in our ashram. So even then, if this is there, then women can feel safe, because the most thing, for Shri, for this energy from Lakshmi, she needs to be safe. Therefore, she doesn't go to anybody who is of unstable nature. Therefore, she's called Chanchala. Therefore, she mostly stays with Vishnu on his chest. So, and therefore, but Prabhupada saw this, that, women, they're not protected anymore. Therefore, he opened the ashram. It's Prabhupada's kindness, and he was criticized for that. So they have to be given shelter, and they have to be taken very, very seriously, because they carry still this energy of Shri. If you mistreat Shri, misfortune will enter your life. If you're a brahmachari, you disrespect women or thinking low about them, you disrespect Radharani. You disrespect this serving energy. So, it doesn't mean one has to we don't put them on a, doesn't mean we have to put some special puja for them, but we should respect them. We also should not, whatever, we also don't worship males or whatever. We don't do this, but we should be respectful amongst each and everybody. Each and everybody. No discriminations. Doesn't mean, when I want to be brahmachari, I want to live like that, it doesn't mean I embrace this energy, but means I respect this energy wholeheartedly, because this is the good fortune of each and any society. Therefore, women should be protected, because Shri is protected, Lakshmi is protected, the goddess of fortune. This name, this George Harrison CDO, the Radha Krishna temple, they call it now goddess of fortune. Yeah, and this is how you do it. So it's not a black and white answer. They should stay forever in the ashram or not. I think most of them, it's good if they find a very, very good qualified devotee husband who knows it's not a burden if I have a wife. It's not a burden. It's a great service to create little Vaishnavas. It's a great service, but it means it starts with me. I have to be a great, good example as a devotee, as a human being. Human being means natural devotee of Krishna, I would say. And in this way, I give a great contribution to society. Muslims, they encourage, make more children, make Islam big, make more children. For us, it's, oh no, they're children, they're disturbance, we want to be spontaneous. You can be very good spontaneous devotee if you're married and have children and everything, because children teach you like anything to be spontaneous. Okay. Sorry, I know it's a big topic. If anybody has some more questions about this eclipse thing, we can go quickly into it. Otherwise, I think we set it in the morning. If somebody has some questions, let's ask them now.
You just said the recommended program during those eclipse hours.
We said in the morning. We can now. We take all prasadam. It should be finished at 10. Therefore, hopefully this guy finishes soon with the class. So then we could meet in the temple room, either chant japa, do kirtan, chant the holy name, try to not go outside so much. It's a fierce day. We have to see inauspicious things is happening in the universe. it is like this. It's like somebody you don't like. It's like the police comes in. Everybody, oh no, what these guys want. So Rahu comes in and does his thing, and his shadow is fallen on the earth. Now the smartest would say, if the shadow of Ramananda Gopal touches me, I'm contaminated because he is a mlecha, right? So in the same time, the smartest would say they have so many rules and regulations why you should not do anything today, even not worship the deity, close the altar, don't do any puja. The only thing you do is chanting japa in this time. Don't eat, don't go to toilet, not even small, don't drink, don't eat, don't have, try to reprocreate. No? So, things like that you should all not do. But then, there's a whole ISKCON paper, what I would sort of present it to you, where it's really explained how Prabhupada, following Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, following Hari Bhaktivilas, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was a big astrologer. If that would be important for Gaudiyas, he would implement it, he would set it. And Prabhupada, so many quotes from disciples, from Mataji, from Shrutakirti, from Hari Sauri, they all confirmed Prabhupada never did anything special for an eclipse. He just followed his schedule, his sadhana. But of course, coming together, chanting the holy name is the best means to kind of protect everything, us and everything around us, from any negative influence. And this is the Yuga Dharma, to propagate the holy name. And in the afternoon, I heard some devotees going out again to Passau, but even here in this temple, it radiates. It's a repeater, it's like a vela, it's a repeater. The temple is like a repeater. It goes out and purifies the whole area. So let's come together as much as possible, as soon as possible, and at 2 o'clock the whole thing is over, just in time to have prasadam. So there should be no disturbances from us, but don't go out too much. Try to avoid it. Whatever you can avoid being exposed to this energy, then don't do it. Just chant Hare Krishna. Try to be as much in association of the holy name and devotees as much as possible. Anything else? So, Hare Krishna. Mahaprasadam ki jai. Nrsingadev. And it's not Maha Eclipse, partial eclipse, Kirtan ki jai. Teilweise